So now we go back to Miami, Florida, Miami. The environment was uglier than ugly, is what I would say. And in addition to that ugly environment, numerous plots were created and have taken place against me since 1995, or I should say mid-1995, as I mentioned, among which were herds of so-called international observers, as they call themselves or refer themselves to. The humanists, so-called humanists on behalf of alternative societies, as they have claimed to be, and as well what was representatives from United Nations and Amnesty International would basically frequently pay visitations to this store in Miami downtown. All the way from Germany, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Morocco, Australia, Canada, the country where I was from, or Poland, ex-Yugoslav republics, Soviet or New Russia, Ukraine, and who knows what else. Too many to count. South America, I don't know if I mentioned that. Well, in reality, what this was, it was nothing else but the gangster mob is what this was. It was the mob, the gangsters, the criminals. That's what that was. The gangster mob organized to implement crime against me, the worst as crime can be created against an individual who was under the circumstances or in circumstances in which I was, or in other words, in a severe agony is what I was. I was in probably, you know, in one of the worst situations. It's just that these criminals didn't come there to help, but they were actually working under direct umbrella of what was first United Nations, Amnesty International, which have covered or exercised the interests of what was United States of American government, which was on the first place the one who have sent them to the store, and in according with agreement which they had, Americans or American Foreign Department of Affairs with communists from Slovenia. That's all there was. They have come in the store after what I have mentioned to you have taken place with United States immigration, or the threats which were given to me that my life would be basically made impossible if I would decide to stay in the United States of America despite their warnings. And they have come in the store under pretense that I am unsuitable to their societies due to my personal views on world, or my reserved or rights which I have reserved for myself when making personal choice with whom I was associating with in private settings or home settings. Therefore, between groups of people based on their national or racial identities, in other words, they have complained about my not simply allowing these people into my private surroundings, such as home. Anywhere from offering them, I don't know, company at my free time, to having them as guests at my home, providing for them, I don't know, free food, providing for them free lodging as they would come from different countries and so on and so forth. This were more than anything for them so-called radical issues or my views on the world, according to which according to them I didn't have the right to have. Yeah. The extortions and death threats have followed afterwards, as I would not back up or change my views, or I should say I don't see why would I change or considered even to change my views, which did not first of all violate anyone or have caused to anyone any griefs other than griefs which they have created to themselves, as according to the law, United States Constitution, the law and universal law, I have all the rights to make my own decisions as per whom to associate with in my private surroundings and so on and so forth. I haven't committed absolutely any crime, and these people were simply sensed disaster situation in which I was, and were well aware that just about anything can be done with me, anything, and that's exactly what have taken place, as I mentioned. Sooner than not, the death threats have followed. Before you know, this South American wifey, ex-wife, this Indian, have turned to be worst of the worst enemy against me, and have really cooperated in this foists which have taken place against me. Working for free in wife's store for years. Yeah, 7 days a week, many hours. That's because law demanded proper procedures according to American law. The law, the Constitution, the law of United States of America, the law about the immigration, you know, the law, that is the law. Yeah, it really didn't matter my free work for years, 7 days a week, you know, basically protecting her in that store from blacks, Hispanics and other gangs which would frequently raid, you know, downtown Miami. I was actually very pleasant and a very nice person to interact with, who would smile at you and do just about everything I could or what is or should be expected from salesmen in order to realize sale, get the money, and basically when it comes to sales, that's what you should do. This is what you are limited to, and that's about it, and then this, and thank you, and next one. That was not the case. For some reason, I could actually never ever satisfy this Cubans, blacks, Jews, South Americans, I don't know, Mexicans, Brazilians, Africans. They eventually always had a special request and special needs which could never ever be fulfilled, regardless of my trying to be nice. I have even learned what was a Spanish language to accommodate these bastards, these criminals. I have done anything, really anything I could to accommodate these criminals, what they were, yet their special needs, their special requirements of this pro-American governmental criminals, humanists, could never ever be fulfilled.